Good morning. Hey, I love that. I am Murray Zwickel, and I use he, him pronouns. And I'd like to welcome you to Bucksmont Unitarian Universalist Fellowship's multi-platform worship, where, moved by love, we share lifelong journeys of growth, wonder, and healing, nurturing wholeness in society and spirit, creating a community of justice and compassion. I'd like to give a welcome to everyone joining us online and in person today, members, friends, and those who may be newcomers to our community this morning. As we begin our service, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. If you are new to Bucksmont and visiting us in person today, please stop by our Visitor Center in the front hallway near where you came in. There you can also make a name tag for yourself and find more information about Unitarian Universalism, Bucksmont Fellowship, and upcoming events. If you'd like a hymnal or a printed order of service, those are available near the entrance to the sanctuary. If you are visiting us online or prefer digital methods, please email our office administrator, Beverly, to sign up for our email newsletter and to get connected to our congregation. You may also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bucksmont UU. Each week in our service, we offer time for people to share a joy or sorrow from their lives by texting a phone number. That number is shared on screen for everyone now, will be again later in the service, and is listed in the order of service. If you would like to see the order of service, details about upcoming services, and other ways to gather with our community, you can find that on the homepage of our website, www.bucksmontuu.org. There is a lot happening at Bucksmont, and we'd like to highlight these announcements in particular. Join us for the third annual Trunk or Treat event on Sunday, October 27th from 11:30 to 12:30. Come support our families and enjoy some creative trunk decoration. It's a special Halloween tradition, and you won't want to miss it. We hope to see you there. Reminder, today is the last day to sign up for the October 19th Circle Dinner. If you would like to meet more people in a casual setting and enjoy scintillating conversation, sign up after the service in the social hall. Please note, if you are participating in service and arriving early, please park in the bank parking lot or in the back parking lot by circle time doors so we can assure parking in the main lot for the service. Be part of Bucksmont's culture of welcome. We are changing how we fill the many roles needed to have Sunday mornings happen each week. As part of that change, we are asking folks to sign up to be ushers. Ushers welcome people to our sanctuary, offer orders of service and hymnals, and help collect the offering. Sign up for one Sunday, every Sunday, or something in between. Full details about this way to help our community and sign-up information can be found in the social hall with Mary Utes and Lori Brooks. Whether you are a guest, friend, or member, we are glad you are part of our worship service today.
As we gather in our sanctuary, in our homes, or watch from mobile screens almost anywhere, we are all together. Those watching now on Sunday, and those who may be watching months from now, we are joined together for worship across both space and time. This is a free, creedless, religious congregation in the discipline of truth and the spirit of universal kinship. We join together in a cooperative quest for religious and ethical values, seeking to apply these values to the development of character, enrichment of the spirit, and service to all. You are welcome here, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the color of your skin or your country of origin, no matter your gender expression or gender identity, whatever your age, however you define family, wherever you are at this time, and whatever the source of your faith, you are welcome here.
This morning, as we do each time we gather, we kindle our Unitarian Universalist chalice. We do so today with words from Maureen Killoran. For every time we make a mistake and we decide to start again, we light this chalice. For every time we are lonely and we let someone be our friend, we light this chalice. For every time we are disappointed and we choose to hope, we light this chalice. Please light your chalice at home. Our common chalice is now lit.
Good morning. I'm Margaret Lee, and I use she, her pronouns. And we're going to sing our opening hymn. We're going to learn it. It's my favorite thing, as you've probably noticed. So we're going to teach you the song, and then the choir will join us, and we'll stand in body or spirit at that time. So as soon as Mike gets the words up there, we'll start learning it. Here we go. Repeating after me. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Now do it. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Then it repeats. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Your turn. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Next part. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your turn. Your people are my people. Your people are mine. Last part. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. And then you repeat that. Your divine, my divine. Okay, can you go back to the first slide, Mike? So we're going to sing this whole slide through twice. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Your divine, my divine. So see, easy. Please stand, rise in body or spirit. The choir is going to join us. 1, 2. Everybody singing. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Your divine, my divine. Your divine, my divine. Your divine, my divine. Thank you.
Okay, it's time for all ages, everyone. So, the young at heart, please come on down. All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Melissa. I'm the director of Work Presentation, and I use she, her pronouns. So, does anybody remember this guy? Jeff Pig. All right. So, for those who missed it, a couple weeks ago, I introduced our Jeff Pig, who is going to be our mascot over the next year, and we reinforce and learn all about beauty values. We call him our Jeff Pig because that's an acronym for our 7 values. I'll explain in a second, including justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, I can spell, interdependence, and generosity with love at the center. So, we're going to be talking about all of those values all year long down in RE, and we have been voting over the past couple of weeks to give our mascot a name. So can I get a drum roll, please? Thank you. His name is Pegasus. Meet Pegasus, our Jeff Pig. We'll be seeing him about once a month, and we'll be doing the Time for All Ages specifically about each of those values as the year goes on. So, who would like to open our Wonder Box? How about Gigi? Nothing? Huh. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry, guys. Remember last week we worked on the Lego? Yeah, we created something? And I said I could putting it together and you have it back here to talk about today, right? I'm really sorry. I messed up on that one. It's gone right now. It must be at home or in my office. I'm not sure. But you know what? It's actually kind of perfect timing because today the grown-ups are going to be up here talking about how to say sorry. So how should we say sorry? How do we make this a really good sign? Yeah. Yeah, saying sorry. Maybe the Lego circle line. Yeah. Maybe something. I think this was my mistake though, because I said I would bring it back, and I promised you guys last week when we talked about promises that I would bring it back. Maybe it's not somebody's house, but the way we say sorry, we do that in a few different ways. Leona was right. First we say the word, I am sorry. And then what else do we do to make it a really good apology? Does anyone's mom or dad or grown up say, what are you sorry for? Is that a line that anyone hears? Yeah? Billy, you hear that one? I hear that one too sometimes. So, I'm really sorry that I forgot about the Lego build structure. I don't think anyone stole it. I think I forgot. And that's okay. Sometimes people forget, right? Maybe we can do it next week, but I think this is a really good opportunity to practice. Maybe it's at my house. I'll check when I get home. Thank you, James. So, the way we say sorry is we say, I am sorry, and we say what we're sorry for, because that's a really important part of the process. So if I bumped into one of you guys, right, accidentally, I would say, I'm really sorry, Will, right? Will, Which one of you is Will? That one, okay. I'm really sorry I bumped into you, Will. It was an accident. I should have paid better attention to where I was going. And what could you say? Do you know? Anyone have any suggestions for Will? It's okay, yeah. Because that was an accident and it's an easy one to forgive somebody on, right? It's okay if we cry. We're allowed to have big feelings. But being able to say, I'm sorry, and it's okay, and being able to take responsibility for our mistakes is a really important way that everybody, the young at heart, and the people who wouldn't qualify themselves as the young at heart. I'll find it later, James, thank you. So we all need to practice being able to say sorry, because it's a skill that we need throughout our entire lives, because we exist around other people. So this week, can we all make sure that we are trying really hard to say sorry and to apologize and take responsibility for our mistakes, to saying what you're sorry for. Okay? All right, thank you, everyone.
The offering in liberal religion is a vital part of our history of faith. As a covenanted community, people who freely choose to be here, our voluntary giving is symbolic of that freedom of choice. Each week at Bucksmont, we share our offering with a different cause or organization in the community. For the month of October, we are sharing with Apartment Partners. At this time, we will hear from Bucksmont member Scott Kuhn about this important program of our fellowship.
Good morning. Our October split plate recipient is the Apartment Partners Project, which is run by the Bucks County Housing Group. They provide affordable housing and related services to people with low to moderate income and people in crisis. Bucksmont's support of the Apartment Partners began in 1992 through the initiative of our Religious Education Department. Our sponsorship of the apartment, now coordinated by our Peace and Justice Committee, has carried on for 32 years. We sponsor an apartment at the Doylestown Bucks County Housing Group location. This is how it works. When a new family moves into the apartment, we supply a welcome basket containing complete bedding and towels for each family member, basic items for the kitchen and bath, cleaning supplies, and even a few food items to get the family started. We also provide food baskets for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter holiday meals. At Christmas, we provide presents for the whole family. Depending on the situation, we can get requests for additional items, such as school supply, clothing, or gift cards. Our current family consists of a mom and two boys, 4 years old and 1 year old. They moved in the spring. The Apartment Partners Project is an opportunity for everyone in the congregation to help. The youth group and religious education classes have participated in the past, especially with holiday food baskets. The Peace and Justice Committee purchases items for the program exclusively from the split plate donations. If anyone is interested in additional donations, such as gift cards, please contact anyone on the Peace and Justice Committee. All donations are greatly appreciated. If you love to shop and would like to help with shopping for our family, please let us know. We're down a shopper, so that would really be a help. We welcome your assistance in this fun and rewarding shopping spree experience. And I just want to end up with a quote from a person named Rose Cleveland, who was the sister of President Grover Cleveland. She was acting First Lady for about a little more than a year until President Cleveland got married. She says, "We cannot touch humanity at large, except as we touch humanity in the individual. We make the world a better place through our concrete relationships, not through our vague general goodwill." And I believe that Bucksmont does that through this Split Plate project. Thank you very much.
We ask that you participate in our morning offering in one of these ways. You can write out a check to Bucksmont and mail it into the fellowship. You may donate online now or at the end of our worship service, or you may place your donation into one of the baskets as they are passed. We will now receive our morning offering. Our community continues to grow and thrive due to generous donations of both time and money. For the many ways that you contribute and how it sustains the fellowship, we are truly grateful. This morning's reading is Forgiveness by Sarah Moores Campbell. There is incredible power in forgiveness, but forgiveness is not rational. One can seldom find a reason to forgive or be forgiven. Forgiveness is often undeserved. It may require a dimension of justice, penance in traditional terms, but not always, for what it holds sacred is not fairness, but self-respect and community. Forgiveness does not wipe away guilt, but invites reconciliation. And it is as important to be able to forgive as it is to be forgiven. No, we do not forgive and forget. But when we invite the power of forgiveness, we release ourselves from some of the destructive hold the past has on us. Our hatred, our anger, our need to feel wronged, those will destroy us, whether a relationship is reconciled or not. But we cannot just will ourselves to enter into forgiveness, either as givers or receivers. We can know it is right and that we want to do it and still not be able to. We can, however, be open and receptive to the power of forgiveness, which, like any gift of the Spirit, isn't of our own making. Its power is rooted in love. The Greek word for this kind of love is agape. Martin Luther King Jr. defined agape as love seeking to preserve and create community. This kind of love is human, but it is also the grace of a transcendent power that lifts us out of ourselves. It transforms and heals, and even when we are separated by time or space or death, it reconciles us to ourselves and to life. For its power abides not just between us, but within us. If we invited the power of agape to heal our personal wounds and give us the gift of forgiveness, we would give our world a better chance of survival.
Each year since before I arrived at Bucksmont, we as a community mark the Jewish high holidays at a Sunday morning worship service. We try to do so sometime between the beginning of Rosh Hashanah and the end of Yom Kippur. Sometimes we blow the shofar. Sometimes we have apples and honey. And often I preach about repentance and atonement. The challenge of the way we mark this time of year is that we collapse what is a whole season of rituals and multiple holidays into a single Sunday. At least in the years I have touched on these topics and these holidays, I have tended toward the repentance, the repair, the apologies side of things. And I will get there this morning, but I wanted to give a little more space to the celebratory themes of the high holidays as well, the sweetness of apples and honey that come in Rosh Hashanah. But first, what are the high holy days? Jewish and religious studies scholar Samuel L. Boyd answers this way. Of the two main high holy days, also called the high holidays, the first is Rosh Hashanah, or the New Year celebration, which began this past Wednesday at sundown and ended at nightfall on Friday. It is one of two New Year celebrations in the Jewish faith, the other being Passover in the spring. The second high holiday is Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement, which will begin this coming Friday at sundown and end at nightfall on Saturday. The first holiday, Rosh Hashanah, celebrates renewal. It involves the blowing of the shofar horn, itself connected to the ram sacrificed instead of Abraham's son, as God had commanded Abraham to do. Important activities include attending synagogue to hear the shofar sounded, as well as eating apple slices with honey, the former representing hopes for fruitfulness and the honey symbolizing the desire for a sweet year to come. It also involves a ritual of throwing bread into running water, symbolizing the removal of sins from people. Rosh Hashanah is believed to mark the date of the creation of the world, and it begins the days of awe, a 10-day period culminating in Yom Kippur. Concepts of repentance and forgiveness are particularly highlighted at Yom Kippur. Its origins are found in the Hebrew Bible, where it describes the one day a year in which premeditated, intentional sins, such as willfully violating divine commands and prohibitions, were to be forgiven. The biblical description of this holiday involved a series of sacrifices and rituals designed to remove sin from the people. For example, one goat thought to bear the sins of the Israelites and was sent off into the wilderness, where it was consumed by Azazel, a mysterious, perhaps demonic force. Azazel consumed the goat and the sins that it carried. The term scapegoat in English derives from this act. Yom Kippur is both the holiest day of the Jewish calendar and also one of the most somber, as the time for repentance includes fasting and prayer. So what are we to do with these themes? Creation, change, renewal, sin, repentance, atonement. First, Rabbi Laura Geller's words on the themes of Rosh Hashanah. Your book of life doesn't begin on Rosh Hashanah. It began when you were born. Some of the chapters were written by other people, your parents, siblings, and teachers. Parts of your book were crafted out of experiences you had because of other people's decisions. Where you lived, what schools you went to, what your homes were like. But the message of Rosh Hashanah, the anniversary of the creation of the world, is that everything can be made new again. That much of your book is written every day by the choices you make. The book is not written and sealed. You get to edit it. Decide what parts you want to emphasize and remember, and maybe even which parts you want to leave behind. Shana Tova means both a good year and a good change. Today you can change the rest of your life. It's never too late. Rosh Hashanah is about the possibility that today brings, that a new year, a new perspective, a next breath brings to your world and to the world itself. We often look at our own individual lives and the relationships we personally have when we think about the themes of renewal and repair. That makes sense. These are the ways we most immediately connect with other people, through our direct, one-to-one experiences. And I am struck by the ideas that the high holidays also are about collective possibility, collective atonement, collective repair. We have less experience with this. So much about how our modern moment is structured is about us as individuals. Sure, we join together in families and places like congregations, but how often do our rituals, holidays, and important moments reflect on the larger story of how a group, a people, are impacted by broken promises or the attempt to apologize beyond the one-to-one moments? How do we apologize as a community? How do we change together? How do we promise together? We began to explore the idea of community promises last week, looking at things like creeds and covenants, statements about what a group of people believes and what a group of people promises to one another. Today we might think about what happens when the promises we make are not kept. Not only how I, myself, reflect and repair when I personally don't keep my word, but how will we together think about what has happened and move forward to collective healing? Some questions for contemplation around the high holidays from our Jewish siblings. Why am I here this year? What is the work I need to do? What have been the most important events of my life this past year? What am I hoping for in the year to come? For what am I especially grateful, angry, or sorry? What parts of my life, which relationships need healing? What is my part in this? How might I promote healing? Let's pause for just a moment with those questions. And to broaden them to the community level, why does this congregation exist? What is the work we as a community need to do? What have been the most important events of this group of people in the past year? What are we together hoping for in the year to come? For what are we as a people especially grateful, angry, or sorry? What parts of our community life, which relationships need healing? What is our part in this? How might we together promote healing? We actually have some practice as a society in moving from the individual to the communal. We do that through the democratic process, and we do so imperfectly, and perhaps some of the tension in that process involves how differently various groups of people in the country answer the questions I just posed when thought about in terms of our local community or state or our country as a whole. Which is why it can be helpful to practice within a group of people that have more overlap in how they answer questions like, what are we here to do together? And what needs to be healed in order to move forward in community? Some agreement is helpful, and there is an important ingredient I've spoken about in the past that is essential for this collective work to happen. That ingredient is trust, and it is in seemingly short supply as we observe the world around us. When we enter into a new place and take the risk of belonging to it, truly becoming a part of a community, it requires no small amount of trust. It also takes trust to invest our time, energy, hopes, and financial resources into a community. Charles Feltman, in The Thin Book of Trust, defines it this way: trust is choosing to make something important to you vulnerable to the actions of someone else. And that's the scary part of trust. It requires vulnerability in order to exist. You need to risk something in order for it to matter. And distrust, according to Feltman, is when what I've shared with you that is important to me is not safe with you. A religious community is a place that should be based in trusting relationships, because I believe that is what religion in its purest form is about, creating places for us to practice relationships built on trust and calling us toward higher ideals. If we can get better at being in relationship here with people we choose over and over again to be in relationship with, We might become better at being in relationship with those we do not choose, but yet have to be in relationship with anyway. So how do we go about building these rare relationships that are trusting? Brené Brown builds on Feltman and says, when we trust, we are braving connection with someone. And she has explored the ingredients of this trusting connection with others through the acronym BRAVING, B-R-A-V-I-N-G, which is made up of boundaries, reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, and last but certainly not least, generosity. 7 ingredients, 7 practices with some overlap in our own UU values. It begins with boundaries, which is interesting if we are trying to create something that requires us to be vulnerable. But boundaries are still necessary. It is important to know what you are willing and able to offer in any relationship. And this means you need to reflect on yourself first. What do you need in order to be a good participant in the relationship? What promises can you keep? The next 2 are reliability and accountability, 2 interrelated aspects of trusting relationships. To be reliable means you will do what you say you'll do over and over again. It builds up that credit in the relationship that when you say something, you mean it and you will deliver. And then there is accountability, which is that when you mess up, when you fail to follow through, as we all do from time to time, you admit it and you apologize for it. And you allow the other people to make mistakes, apologize, and make amends too. You need reliability in between the mistakes to build a relationship strong enough to hold the mistakes and to make space for the apologies. The middle aspect, like the keystone of an arch, is vault, or the ability to keep confidences when others trust you with them, which usually happens when you've laid the foundation for a trusting relationship. You've made your personal boundaries clear, you've proven yourself to be reliable, and you've demonstrated accountability when you have made mistakes. Then you have the pieces in place to be given the gift of someone trusting you enough to keep a confidence, to be a vault for them, a safe place to keep something you need to share, they need to share with you. Being able to keep a confidence also leads into the 5th aspect, integrity, which Brown defines as choosing courage over comfort, choosing what's right over what's fun, fast, or easy, and practicing your values, not just professing your values. Having this type of integrity is about living out those values constantly in our lives, when others can see, and more importantly, when no one can. The second to last aspect is non-judgment, which I think of as humility. We make an environment where it is okay to ask for help, to not be judged for imperfection. We understand that none of this is easy to do, but want to try together anyway. And finally, we come to generosity, which means that we assume good intentions of those we are in relationship with. When we are wondering about something the other person has done, we ask them first, rather than just jumping to conclusions, and we expect that others will do the same of us in return. So there we have 7 aspects of trusting relationships: boundaries, reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, and generosity. Braving to live into relationships that hold all of this is not easy and not fast. it is made both easier and harder with others. Or maybe another way to think about it is that it is only necessary and only possible when in community with other people. This is the sort of space I hope we are building a container for here, a place where trusting, brave relationships are more possible than in the wider world, a place where we practice these tools of connection and create the sort of institution that is here year after year to welcome those seeking such a place to belong, a place that is worthy of trust and commitment. And it is practicing trusting, brave relationships, which rituals found in the high holidays and in other traditions we call our attention to annually are trying to help remind us and to keep returning to them. We know that when tension rises, relationships can become brittle. Having ways to reconcile our imperfect moments with the values we try to center is a big part of religious life. Yes, we practice things like forgiveness in order to help this place work better. That is an important thing. But we also practice things like forgiveness here to help equip ourselves to practice forgiveness beyond this circle of community too. Returning to today's reading, which I am adapting a bit. Forgiveness does not wipe away guilt, but invites reconciliation. And it is as important to be able to forgive as it is to be forgiven. No, we do not forgive and forget. But when we invite the power of forgiveness, we release ourselves from some of the destructive hold the past has on us. We can, however, be open and receptive to the power of forgiveness, which, like any gift of the Spirit, isn't of our own making. Its power is rooted in love. The Greek word for this kind of love is agape. Martin Luther King Jr. defined agape as love seeking to preserve and create community. This kind of love is human, but it is also the grace of a transcendent power that lifts us out of ourselves. It transforms and heals, and even when we are separated by time or space or death, it reconciles us to ourselves and to life. For its power abides not just between us, but within us. If we invited the power of agape to heal our personal wounds and give us the gift of forgiveness, we would give our world a better chance of survival. Here, we need the possibility and sweetness of a new year, a new day, a next breath. And we need the practices of apology and forgiveness. We need these things as individuals to practice them personally. We need these things as a community to practice them communally. May we find the balance and the grace to do so together. So may it be.
So we're going to sing a nigun. A nigun is a sung prayer in the Jewish tradition. It's you sing on a nonsense syllable. It doesn't have any deep. The word itself doesn't have deep meaning. It's the process of singing. And we're singing a Tishrei nigun, Tishrei is the first month in the Jewish calendar, which is when Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur occur. This nigun, as you read in your order of service, is written by, is sung in an organization in Jerusalem that is practicing Judaism as a process, as a path to peace. So there's a little bit about that in order service. So we're going to sing this. I invite you to think of this as a prayer, to close your eyes and rest in the sound of the prayer. You ready? Here we go.
As we continue this time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries, connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life, of which we are each but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are together. As we breathe out, we are together. I share with gratitude this poem by Michael Josephson. What will matter? Ready or not, someday it will all come to an end. There will be no more sunrises, no minutes, hours, or days. All the things you collected, whether treasured or forgotten, will pass to someone else. Your wealth, fame, and temporal power will shrivel to irrelevance. It will not matter what you owned, or what you were owed. Your grudges, resentments, frustrations, and jealousies will finally disappear. So too your hopes, ambitions, plans, and to-do lists will expire. The wins and losses that once seemed so important will fade away. It won't matter whether you were brilliant or beautiful. Even your gender and skin color will be irrelevant. So what will matter? How will the value of your days be measured? What will matter is not your success, but your significance. What will matter is not what you learned, but what you taught. What will matter is every act of integrity, compassion, courage, or sacrifice that enriched, empowered, or encouraged others to emulate your example. What will matter is not your competence, but your character. What will matter is not how many people knew you, but how many will feel a lasting loss when you're gone. What will matter is not your memories, but the memories that live in those who loved you. What will matter is how long you will be remembered, by whom, and for what? Living a life that matters doesn't happen by accident. It's not a matter of circumstances, but of choice. Choose to live a life that matters. How we look to each day matters. How we encounter the next moment matters. How we work collectively matters. As recently departed actress Dame Maggie Smith once said, ask yourself about the kind of life you want. What would you do day to day, and with whom, and where? Consider the life you have. Do one thing today, however small, to close the gap between the two. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. May our minds create a vision of the world radical enough to be called holy. May our actions contain the promise of hope and the commitment to justice. May our hearts remember that love is a power that resists all forms of fear. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so. As part of our caring outreach to one another, we set aside a few moments to note both the sorrows and the joys in our lives. In these moments of peace and reflection, we turn our attention to one another. We hold each and all in our compassionate thoughts and the prayers of our hearts. This morning, we are lighting candles to mark the important moments in our lives. Each candle adds to the collective light of this community, a place that also holds the memories of those who have gone before and anticipates those who have yet to arrive. To share the joy or sorrow you would like held by our caring community, text the number that is now on screen. Please include your name along with your sharing. It is the same number no matter how you join us today, and you can add it to your contacts for future weeks. I will read them aloud, and Murray will light a candle on your behalf. What is shared today will go out in our weekly caring notes for those who cannot be with us this morning. Please remember to include your first and last name with what you share. And now we will light a final candle for all of the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken and deep within our hearts. With words spoken and candles lit, we honor our joys and our sorrows, those shared this morning and the many, many more that exist beyond words. Through our time together, our relationships are deepened and our community made whole.
Good morning. My name is Jennifer Worthington. I use she, her pronouns. Please join us in body or spirit in singing hymn 112, Do You Hear?
Do you hear, oh my friend, in the place where you stand?
chalice extinguishing words this morning are from Leslie Takahashi. Here in this place of peace, may we find hope. Here in this place of connection, may we find life-giving community. Here in this place of rest, let the unrest of our hearts turn us toward justice. Here in this space made sacred by memories of connection, let us each feel ourselves part of the new that grows from the old in the spiraling unity of years.
As our community departs from this service, may we remember all who came before. May we imagine all who will come after. May we honor all who are present with us here and now. In our time together, we create this community, one of promise, one of commitment, one of trust. In our time together, may each of us become a sanctuary for all we meet on the journey. May we go together now and return again.